Hello viewers, in this video look at evaluation of roots. So we have our question number 1, which is saying that given that the roots of x squared plus 3x minus 18 is equal to 0, alpha and beta, evaluate the following. So we have part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4 and part 5 there. So those are roots. So how do we evaluate these roots? So there are properties that you need to know. Okay, so the first property that you need to know is we have alpha. Okay, let me just put these properties just here, okay, above. So the first property that you need to know is alpha what? Beta. So alpha beta is equal to what? C over what? A. That's the first property that we use. Then the second property is alpha plus what? Beta. So alpha plus beta is negative b over what? A. Then the other property is alpha squared plus beta squared. This is equal to alpha plus what? Beta squared minus what? 2 alpha what? Beta. So these are the three properties that we will be using in this question that we have. So the quadratic equation that we have is x squared plus 3x minus 18. This is equal to a 0. So from here we can identify a, which is the coefficient of x squared, which is a 1. Then we can identify b, which is the coefficient of x, that is positive 3 there. Then we have our c, which is a constant, that's negative 18. Okay, then now we have our first part, which is asking us to evaluate, that's alpha squared plus beta what? Squared there. Okay, so remember, for us to evaluate this, we have the property for this. So the property for this, our question, that is alpha squared plus beta squared, it is equal to what? That is alpha plus what? Beta. Then this is squared minus 2 alpha what? Beta. That's the property that we're going to use. Then this now will give us alpha plus beta, that's negative b over a. Then this is squared minus 2 times what? Alpha beta, that's c over what? And a there. So we just have to substitute. So this will give us negative. Okay, then what is our b there? We can see that our b is 3. Then what is our a? A is 1 there. Okay, then this is squared minus, that is 2 times c is negative 18. Then we're going to divide this by our a, which is a 1 there. So this will give us negative 3 squared. We have positive 9 over 1 squared, which is a 1, minus negative so there we're going to say negative 2 times negative 18. This will give us positive what? It will give us a positive 36 there. So we just have 9 plus what? 36. So remember here we don't use a calculator. Okay, so when we add, when we say 9 plus 36, this will give us a 45 there. That's what we have. So that becomes the answer for the first part. Then for part 2, what we have is 1 over alpha plus 1 over what? Beta there. So here we're going to find the common denominator first. So our common denominator will be alpha what? Beta there. Okay, so now we need to start dividing. So alpha into alpha beta, you have alpha and alpha, which will cancel. Then here we remain with our beta there. So I'm saying beta times 1, we have a beta plus, again we'll do the same. We have beta into alpha beta. So beta and beta cancels, you remain with an alpha. So this alpha times 1. So on top you have this. Okay, so now remember, beta plus alpha is the same as alpha plus what? Beta. Then we're going to say over what? Alpha beta. Then for alpha plus beta, we have a property for that. If you remember, it's negative b over a. Then we'll divide by alpha beta, which is c over a. So you can simplify this further by saying this is negative b over what a. Then you multiply, then we switch those. So a will be on top, then we have a c down there. That's what we have. So a and a cancels. So here we just have that is negative b over what a c there. So I have negative open, what is b? We have a 3. Then you divide by a constant, that is negative 18. So negative divided by negative, we have a positive. So we have 3 over what? 18. So this will give us 3 into 3, we have a 1. That is over 3 into 18, we have what? A 6 there. So the answer for that one is 1 over 6. Then we have our party 3. So for party 3, what we have is 1 over, that is alpha squared, plus 1 over, that is beta squared. So even here, we'll find the common denominator, which will be alpha squared, then beta squared. That will be our common denominator. So you start dividing. So you're going to say alpha squared into the denominator. You have alpha squared, which will cancel with alpha squared. Then you remain with beta squared. So beta squared times 1, we have our beta squared. Then we're going to add. Then you're going to say beta squared into alpha beta squared there. We can see that beta squared will cancel with beta squared. Then you remain with the alpha squared. So this alpha squared will multiply it with a 1. So what we have is alpha squared. So now this will give us what? Remember, beta squared plus alpha squared. This is the same as alpha squared. That is plus beta squared. Then over what? Then alpha squared, beta squared. That can also be written as alpha, beta. Then we put a power there. Then from here now, we know that we have the property for alpha squared plus beta squared. That is alpha plus beta, that is squared minus what? 2 alpha beta. Then here we're going to divide. Alpha beta is that is c over what? A. So this is squared. So now we just have to substitute. So alpha plus beta. So alpha plus beta is that's negative b over what? That's negative b over what? A. Then that has to be squared. Then you say minus. We have 2. Then alpha beta, that's c over what? A there. Then here we're going to divide by c over what? A. Then this is what? Squared there. So we need to substitute with the values there. So we have negative, what is our b? B is 3 there, as you can see. Then we have an a. Remember that is squared. So we're going to say open brackets, then negative, what is our b? B is 3 over what is our a? A is 1. Then this will be squared minus 2 open. Then what is our c? C is what? That's negative 18. Then we're going to divide by a, which is a 1. Then here we're going to divide by what? Our c, that's negative 18. That is over a, which is a 1. Then this has to be squared there. Okay. So now this one now will give us negative 3 over 1. That's negative 3. Then we have the power 2 minus, that is 2 open, negative 18 over 1, we have negative 18. Then down we have, that is negative what? 18. Divide by 1, it will be negative 18. Then remember this is z squared there. So here, what are we getting? We have, let me just write below. So if we follow this, what we're going to have is negative 3 squared. We're going to have positive 9, then minus 2 open, then negative what? Negative 18 there. Over what? Negative 18 squared. This means we are multiplying negative 18. That is times what? Negative 18. Okay, so we ignore the negative first. So 8 times 8, we have a 64. You write a 4, you keep a 6. Then 8 times 1, we have an 8. Then 8 plus a 6, we have 8 plus 6, we have a 14, so you write a 14 there. Okay, 0, then 1 times 8, we have an 8, then 1 times 1, we have a 1 there. So we have 4 there, then 4 plus 8, that's a 12, we keep a 1, then here we have 3, 24. So here down we have positive 3 what? 24. So this will give us 9. That is now negative 2 times negative 18. That will give us positive 36. Then here we divide by what? 324. So 9 plus 36, that's 45 over what? 324. So that one becomes our answer there. Okay, then we now move to part 4. So for part 4, we have alpha squared, that is beta, plus alpha beta squared there. So for us to evaluate this, what we're going to do is we'll factor out what is common. So you can see that alpha beta is common. So we'll factor out alpha beta, then we say open brackets. So what do we have here? So beta and beta cancels, then alpha and 1 alpha cancels here. You remain with 1 alpha there. Then plus, you do the same. We can see that beta squared will cancel with 1 beta there. So what I'm saying, alpha and alpha cancels, then beta will cancel with 1 beta here. You remain with a beta there. That's what we have. Okay. Then now this will give us what? Alpha beta, that's C over A. Then you are multiplying this one with the alpha plus beta, the property, that's negative B over what? A there. So this will give us, remember our C is negative 18. Then what is A? 1. Then we are multiplying this by negative. What is our B? That's positive 3. A is 1. Okay. So here we have negative 18. When you say negative 18 divide by 1, you have negative 18 times negative 3 over 1, we have negative 3. So here we're multiplying, that is 18 times 3. So 3 times 8, we have a 24. You write a 4, you keep a 2. Then 3 times 1, that's a 3, plus a 2, we have a 5. So negative 18 times negative 3, that will give us positive what? 54. So that's what we have as our answer. Then the last part is asking us to find, that is V, is alpha over what? Beta, plus that is beta over alpha there. So here, this is a fraction that we have. So what we're going to do is we'll factor out the alpha beta, because we can see that alpha beta is common there. So now you start dividing. So we have beta times alpha beta. Okay, so beta and beta cancels, you remain with alpha. So alpha times alpha on top, we have we're going to have that is alpha squared, then plus. Okay, then again you do the same. You're going to say alpha into alpha beta. So alpha and alpha cancels, then you have beta times beta. Then now that will give us what? Beta squared. So this now we have to simplify further this. So remember that property for alpha squared plus beta squared is alpha plus what? Beta. Then this is squared minus, that is 2 alpha what? Beta. Then you divide that by what? Alpha beta. Then we have the property now. So alpha plus beta, that's negative B over what? A. Then remember that is squared, then minus. We have 2 times alpha beta. The property is C over what? A there. Then over alpha beta, that's C over what? A. So this will give us, so now we need to go back and check. So we have open brackets negative. What is our B? From our quadratic equation, we can see that the A is 1, then B is 3, then C is equal to negative what? Negative 18. So those are the numbers that we're going to use. So for B, negative, then what is B? 3 there. Then what is a? 1. Remember, this is squared, minus 2. Then you are multiplying this with a c, which is negative 18. Then over what? A, which is 1. Then you divide that by c, which is negative 18. That is over a, which is a 1. So you just have to simplify that. So we have negative 3 over 1. That will give us negative 3. Then this will be squared minus. Then we have negative 2 times negative 18. That will give us it will give us positive 36. Okay. Then over negative 18 over 1. That will give us negative 18. So now negative 3 squared, you have 9. That is plus what? Plus 36 over negative 18. So here we have that is 45 over negative 18.